Welcome to the tutorial Pencil Templates. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you the various different ways of how you can create pencil templates, as well as use pencil templates to continue tracing a clean version of our Karate Rabbit. So to select one of the preset pencil templates, you have to go to this drop-down menu here in the Tool Properties panel for the pencil tool. So the first 6 pencils listed here really only differ in size. So if you select pencil 2, for example, you get a minimum tip width of 1 and a maximum tip width of 5. Say if you choose pencil 4, you get an even width of 10 for both the minimum and the maximum. But for the most part, it seems like the optimization and the smoothness remain the same throughout. However, if you continue along, you'll notice that there's a bunch of templates called pen styles. So these ones are pencils here, the first 6, but these other ones are actually called pen styles, and they actually describe pretty well what they do. So this one's the tapered pen style, for example, and we see that it's tapered at both ends. So if we try drawing with this, no matter what I do, even if I hold down to try to make a maximum pressure and a completely uniform line, if I let go, I'll always be guaranteed that I'll have a taper at the start and the end of my line. So the next 2 styles seem pretty obvious as well. Tapered beginning pen style, tapered end pen style. If you look at the preview here down below, which you can always collapse if you'd like to save a bit of space, you can see that one end is quite blunt, but the other end tapers. So this is tapered end pen style. And tapered beginning is that it tapers at the beginning of your line, no matter what pressure you're using with your stylus and Wacom tablet, and that it'll become blunt and thick at the end. So the curved above pen style is actually quite interesting, and it's really good to use when trying to draw eyebrows. So let's try to draw an eyebrow for the cartoon rabbit. And if you notice, it makes that perfect arc with the taper at both ends. And if we zoom in, and we use the keyboard shortcut D to show all strokes, you can see why it's called curved above pen style, because the curve is actually above the central vector line for this pencil stroke. If you noticed in the eye below, the vector line is in the center with an equal width on both sides, but here the blue line, so the vector line, is at the bottom, while the width of the stroke is actually all completely on top. So that gives you a sense of what some of the preset pen styles are like. So then if you decide you'd like to create your own pencil template, there are actually several ways that you could go about doing this. In this video, I'm only going to go over how you can create a new pencil template in the Tool Properties panel for the pencil tool. However, in one of the following videos, I'll show you some different ways of creating pencil templates. So the first thing that you need to do if you want to create a pencil template is click on the New Pen button right here. So it's the pencil with the plus sign. And you'll see that a new pencil style has been automatically created from this drop-down list. And it's always listed here at the end. So as you can see, the reason it's pencil 7 is because we end with pencil 6 here, and pencil 7 is here down at the bottom. So it's best to rename it right away, because otherwise after your 12th new pencil, you might lose track of what each one is like. So you can do this by clicking on the button here with the letter A to rename. And it's always best to use something descriptive. I don't know what this pencil is going to look like yet, so I'm just going to name it My Pencil 01. But like I said, you could name it something like eyebrow pencil or, charcoal pencil or something far more descriptive than this. So I'm going to say OK, and you can see it changes right away in the list. Then what you can do is change all of its properties down here below, and also down here for the texture section, which I'm not going to get into in this video either, but whenever you create a pencil from the Tool Properties panel of the pencil tool, you always have a texture associated with it, and that's the difference between creating one through this Properties panel and some of the other ways that we'll see later on. You may have also noticed that the new pencil style that you've created, the new pencil template that you've created, takes on some of the values of the pencil style that was selected at the time of its creation. So for example, we had the curved above pen style selected, and this style has a minimum value of 0, a maximum of 24, a smoothness of 2, and a contour optimization of 5. So then if we go back down the list to our newly created template, we'll see that it has retained those values. So what this means is, if you know that there is certain preset pencil or pen style that exists from this drop-down list that you would like to use as a base for your new pencil, it's best to have it selected first before creating your new pencil style or template. So one thing we haven't looked at yet are these three options here, and they're actually known as the pencil line style options. So we have start, end, and join, and you can see as I pass my mouse over that these thumbnails are active and that you can click on them to see a drop-down menu. We also have this little black triangle in the corner that also indicates that it's a drop-down menu, because we see that here and here throughout the software, throughout the interface of the software. So we have two choices here for the start, and that's the round or flat. And what we're basically deciding on here is what kind of style we would like the start of an individual stroke to look like for our new pencil template. So I'm going to select flat for the start, and for the end we have the same two choices, round or flat, so I'll keep it on round. Then we have join here, and what join means is it allows you to pick a style for the corner or any corners that you make with this new pencil style. So there's round, miter, and bevel. And the way that the software is able to recognize a corner is that it looks for Bezier points without any handles. So even if you have something that looks like a corner, if there are handles there, it won't necessarily make it conform to, say, a bevel, because it doesn't recognize it as a corner. So that's something to keep in mind. Then as we scroll down here, we can see a preview of our stroke. So you can always hide that if you think it takes up too much space and you want to deal more with the texture or other things, or you can always uncollapse it again to see a preview. And lastly, what you can do is you can also lock your style. So if you click on this little lock here, you can see that immediately all the properties for your new pencil template have become disabled. So you are no longer able to change any of these values. And then if we actually draw a line in the drawing view, you'll see that you can't use any of the keyboard shortcuts such as O to increase the maximum radius, or Shift O to increase the minimum radius. All of a sudden you see a white circle with that bar going through it telling you can't do anything about it. So that's obviously a good thing as a safety for a line that you don't want people to be able to accidentally change, and then it retains those values. For example, if I select pencil 2, we see that this is what it normally looks like. A minimum value of 1, a maximum of 5. Then if I hold down O, increase the radius, now all of a sudden I can draw with a thicker radius for my maximum size. But then if we change pen styles and go back to number 2, it's retained that new radius. So I've essentially changed this brush. And if I've been using this brush expecting it to work a certain way, and all of a sudden the values changed and I can't remember what that previous value was, I'm kind of screwed up the consistency that I like in my animation between my drawings. So it's always good if you're creating a new brush style to lock it so that it really does keep the original values that you intended it to have. And if we actually hide strokes for a minute, there we go, you have to select the camera view first, you'll see that our stroke really does adhere to the values that we gave it. So we can see the start end is blunt, the end is round. I haven't made any corners, so we can't really see that bevel corner, but you can tell it probably does fall between 0 and 24. If this is 21 here at max, this looks like it could be 24 easily. So you can see that it really is a product of those values that you set for it. So I'm just going to delete those. And lastly, the last thing you can do, of course, is delete any pencil templates that you've created. So I have my pencil 01 selected. If I click on this icon, delete pen, we'll see that it's been deleted from the list. It's no longer here at the bottom, and right now at the bottom is the last preset style, uniform pen style. So that's it for the tutorial, pencil templates. Stay tuned for the next tutorial, reshaping pencil lines with the pencil editor tool.